guys, Jen Loves Wrestling here. Hope you are having a great day. Happy Wednesday. So we are going to start today's video, which is going over a few little tidbits from the week and then dive into NXT. So on SmackDown, we saw the debut of a new tag team on SmackDown, and it just happened to be Shotzi and Tegan Nox, or should I say Nox. So that was unexpected, and the randomness continued for WWE throughout the week. I'm not saying it's all necessarily bad. In fact, there was one thing in particular that I really enjoyed that was super random. I'm sure you guys probably know what I'm alluding to, but we will get there very shortly. I just want to mention on Raw, I mentioned on my last video last week about how I am really enjoying the dynamic between Ali and Mansoor. And it continued this week, and it also continued with the subtlety of them in a backstage segment where Ali walked away and Mansoor went with him, and that was all we saw, but there was a lot telling about that in just the two to 3 seconds that they were on the screen. It still shows that Mansoor is being influenced by Ali, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. And we cannot skip over something, in my opinion, that I thought was just huge, was one of my favorite female superstars, Nikki Cross, or now Nikki Ash, almost a superhero, beating Asuka. This was huge, and I'm so happy for Nikki. The new gimmick is interesting, but it's something she came up with herself, so I'm very much supporting her on this. And, I mean, it's going great so far for her. Beating Asuka, she's getting a big push out of this, so I'm just really happy for Nikki, and this was a huge moment. So moving on to NXT, and again, continuing with that randomness I alluded to earlier, Mandy Rose appears to be scouting Saray, and yes, I will repeat that for those of you who didn't watch NXT. Mandy Rose randomly appeared during a Saray match. So she appears to be scouting her, and she also showed up in a backstage clip segment with frankymonet, Jessi Kamea, and Robertstone. And notice I did not mention Aliyah there, because Aliyah had one of the coolest moments on the entire episode. I can't even fathom to think, in my mind at least, that she even knew the reaction that this would get. Aliyah finally breaking free of the Robertstone brand with a just aggressive beatdown on Robertstone after the match, after he cost her the match. This was such a huge moment for Aliyah. The crowd reaction that this got, I love Aliyah, but I don't think myself, and I don't think Aliyah was even expecting that. She had such an amazing moment. This was just one of those cool organic things that happen. It's kind of happened with Johnny Gargano a few weeks ago as well. I know that's Johnny's had momentum in the past, whereas Aliyah, this was one of her biggest moments in my opinion. This was so cool to see. So yeah, a lot of things happening with the Robertstone brand and those involved, and now we are also adding Mandy Rose to the mix. So lot going on there, lot to unpack. So let's hop over to something a little more lighthearted and fun. This was probably my second highlight of the show, which was Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. And now we've seen the fallout from Great American Bash of Cameron Grimes actually having to be LA Knight's butler. This was just a lot of fun. Cameron is taking this in stride. He is having fun with it. I mean, the interactions between these two, they had a few segments throughout the show, and it was just all enjoyable and all real fun break. I loved it. It just goes to show you the variety that we get in NXT. We also get romance. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Or do we? Lumis versus Santosescobar. Well, the story is really the two different things that occurred post this match. So we had some after the match moments. They were really big, and they also stemmed from comments rather, made earlier in the show. One from Beth Phoenix telling Indy, you need to take the bull by the horns here. You want your man, go get your man. Take the initiative, take a chance. So, now we also had, on the more negative side, legadodelfantasma throwing some shade at hitrow. So, after this match, not only did we get one interesting thing, but two interesting things here. We had Indy taking Beth's advice and having her, almost her first kiss with Dexter. We almost had Index. It was right there in the palm of our hands, guys. It's so close, but I agree with what happened here. Candace ended up coming out, knocking Indy off Dexter. She was about to kiss him, interrupting what would have been their first kiss. But you know what? You got to save that for a big moment. And every week on NXT is a big moment. But man, when this finally happens, you are going to have romance of the greatest movies, the greatest moments in wrestling, love stories, the likes of just the biggest romance novels and all of the movies and all of the dreaminess. We're going to get there, guys, but they're going to save it for a big moment. We need it to be a big moment, and my gosh, is it going to be big. That will also pop the crowd, just like Aliyah did, just like Gargano's been doing. We all want Index. We're going to get it, guys. NXT makes you wait, and it can be excruciating at times, but honestly, I love them for it. I love it. I love the long-term stories. That was the first thing. We also had hitrow come out and confront Legado, which I absolutely love because, first of all, you guys know what a big hitrow fan I am. But also, this is the first time that Legado, who always uses the numbers to their advantage, does not have the numbers in their favor. There is 4 of hitrow, 3 of Legado. It should be interesting to see what happens when the shoe's on the other foot. We don't want to talk about shoes and foots when Robertstone is around. Or Zach Gibson, for that matter. Okay, we're going to move on, though. We had Adam Cole come out to cut a promo. This got interrupted by Bronsonreed, who is interested in mixing it up with Cole. And it looks like Bronsonreed is, in my opinion, getting into his NXT bucket list here. Heading right straight for the top there. So, but this segment was also interrupted by Samoa Joe, who, funnily enough, for being not a in-ring competitor right now, is having a very long line occurring behind him. Right now, based on the outcome of the main event, this line is headed up by karrionkross. But we also have Adam Cole and Pete Dunne in the mix here. So Samoa Joe is quite the busy man. He is very in demand. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. We're coming up on 8 minutes, and I got a couple other things I want to discuss before we take this show off the road. I didn't even know what that meant. Before I close out the video, we'll just say that. I will probably be doing a little stream on YouNow tomorrow because I won't be able to stream Friday. However, I am available. My chat window will be open every Friday at around 4 p.m., as it always is, but I will go live tomorrow just because I can't on Friday. So, anybody who has YouNow, fan up, Jen Loves Wrestling. Also wanted to mention, I wanted to mention this in last week's video, I forgot. I have recently seen, and you guys are observant, I know, so you're paying attention to the background. And obviously, I am, wrestling is my #1 love, but my second is horror. And CM Punk, actually, which is why I'm bringing this up, because it is in a roundabout kind of 7, 5, 4, 3, whatever degrees of separation. It is still about wrestling, but it's also about my second favorite thing, which is horror. CM Punk has a fantastic movie on Netflix right now, guys. It's called Girl on the Third Floor. I checked it out recently. Anybody who's into horror, CM Punk actually does a really, really great job. He is the lead in this movie. So if you're a CM Punk fan or if you're a horror fan in general, he is so impressive in this movie, and the story is actually fantastic as well. It's a very unique movie. Great movie. If you have Netflix, check it out on there. Also, guys, happy Shark Week if you're into that. I am moderately into it, but mostly going to be enjoying Shark Week by binge watching maybe not binge watching, but one Sharknado movie per night, which include wrestlers like Kurt Angle and Seth Rollins you can find in the Sharknado movie, along with pretty much everybody else under the sun. Sharknado is a cult favorite, and Jen loves wrestling. Loves Sharknado. And I also love all of you guys, so fan me on You Know Jen Loves Wrestling, and on YouTube, as always, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Love you guys. Have a good week. Have a good night. Bye. Mwah.